Ah, well, that'll teach me, won't it? Hello. Whose idea was this again? This was me. All my idea. Got a bit of time free. A few things to chat about. People to catch up with, maybe. Fingers crossed. Yeah. Then I remembered I sort of booted things up and I thought, oh, I've got a bit of time left. I'll play that 30-second intro. You know the one? The one with the kind of annoying lift music. Went to go look for it. Which dickheads deleted that? Of course it was me. Thankfully, Tom has been holding court, keeping your attention for a minute or two. He's good like that, isn't he? A good egg, Tom Baker. Good egg. And yes, so I'll get with it. Snap out of it, Hadley. Hello, everybody. Hello, yes, welcome back. Welcome back to Type 40 with me, Dan Hadley, Birmingham's king of the geeks. Chilled out and casual too chilled out. I forgot what I'd got and where I'd got it, but I do have a drink. Here it is. I do have my wits about me, sort of, for now. And I've got you as well there just on YouTube there this time to chill out, hang out with me for a while. Yes, still time for the hats. It's still hat season. Tom is braving the elements. There, yeah, he's going to get piles sat on that this whole time, isn't he? I think we ought to bail Tom out with this graphic at some point in the near future. It turns out though that actually he may as well enjoy it while he can. Apparently, snow is on the way, according to our correspondent on Necros. So they're telling us it's all over my app, everybody, that snow is on the way wherever we are. So I've got the warnings all sort of filling up there, telling me it's going to be snowing from this time to that time, and you're not going to be able to do anything or go anywhere, that kind of stuff. Plays havoc with a runner's life. That does. I don't know if Colin would agree. Which Cole? Don't fancy his chances of running in that cloak. I've got some people joining. Thank you. Good afternoon, all. Good afternoon if you're in the UK, of course. If you're in the United States, it's probably around mid-morning now, isn't it? Bit of a is this drive time? It's nearly drive time, isn't it? It's school run time. Yeah. Results will vary, of course, for time travelers out there. Okay, so what's this about, and what am I going to bend your ear about this time? Wait and see. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that I get up to, because it is pretty well known that I am a bit of a twat, and don't take my word for it. Take the word of Doctor Who positivity, and if they don't know a twat when they see one, who does? What do we do here? Well, we talk about Doctor Who. Most of it, some of it, the good stuff, and the bad stuff when it pops up, in a kind of chilled out and casual way. Here, hanging out. They're not hanging out. They've got nothing to hang. This this troop of Time Lords. More plastic down there, isn't it, gents? Yeah, never mind. Just thinking how the one at the back, who's meant to be John Pertwee on the back at the right, looks a bit like one of the Golden Girls. Probably best not to dwell on that for too long, is it? There we are. The William Hartnell one looks more like what's his name? Sir Patrick Moore. Dear me, it's best not to look at these things for too long, is it? Help me out, everybody. Somebody help me out. I need a drink. Yeah, so it's meant to be winter. I think we're getting off quite lightly for the time being, aren't we? It's certainly not that bad at all. Chilly, yes, but only that one bout of snow here in the UK. I've got people in the live chat. Thank you, everybody who's joined me so far. Yeah, who's here? Let's have a look. Let's take stock. That's what chill streams are for, isn't it? Good afternoon. Good morning, afternoon, all from the Zero Room. Now, you're in Canada, aren't you? Have you got any snow there at the moment? Let us know, because then I might stop moaning, stop clutching my head if I'm shamed by you. Thanks for joining in, Zero Room. Farsight's here too. What's it all about? Asks Farsight. Wait and see. I've always got some things in the back of my mind. A chill stream's never really a chill stream. Well, sometimes it is, but sometimes it isn't. So we'll see what we get around to. But there's been things that have made my radar. Well, radar. Made my tuner, I should say. Hail everyone, says Lord Thoth. Happy to have you back with us, Lord Thoth. Thank you for modding. Hello, hello, says Rose Kirby. Good morning or afternoon. Hello, peeps. Peeps is all caps peeps. She's really serious about the peeps. Time for a cup of tea. Time for a cup of tea. Not a cup of soup, a cup of tea. Hail chat, says garbage. Hail garbage. Hail. Well, I'd love to know where all this hail stuff started on YouTube comment sections. We've got a hi from Funky. I write back at you. And Scott. Good to see you, Scott. Good morning, good afternoon from Scott in the game closet. Stephen O'Neill's in too. A good afternoon from Manchester, Victoria Railway, waiting for a train back to wonderful Wigan. Yes, so Funky says, as Queen Charlotte recently said, always blame Dan. That does, I don't remember. That is the kind of stuff that Charlotte would probably say. Oh, bless her. Garbage says, Dan, what's with the hat? Don't hide your hair, mate. Or is your heater system broken? No, it's just bloody cold. It's really, really cold here. We're in the studio. This is the hottest room in the house in the summer and the coldest room in the house every other time of year. Plus, I like my hat. It was a present from someone dear to me. It's my favourite one. The sun is shining in Ballymoney. Says, where's Ballymoney? I mean Ballymore. Ballymoney. It's sun-kissed in Manchester, according to Stephen O'Neill. And the Zero Room asks, haven't we all been a twat once in a while? Yes. Who hasn't been a twat every now and again? Doctor Who positivity. I'm proud of my twattishness. Hello, everyone, says Jonathan Cox. Hi, Jonathan, mate. Good to see you, pal. What is this? Good radar, or is a little? Oh, I see. Is this? So you're wondering what has made my radar from out there in the Whoniverse? Is it good radar, or is a little rant brewing for us to have a giggle too? Well, I am very, very confused. I don't mind saying to you, I'm very, very confused because I have had the TARDIS tuner sort of pointed in the general direction of the Doctor Who universe again, because you can't be all over everything all the time, can you? But I do like to sort of keep up on stuff so that I know what you are all talking about. And this week, there's only one name really that everyone seems to be talking about. And so, when I heard that Amelia was the one everyone was talking about, I thought, wow, Amelia, really? I haven't thought about her in a while. But apparently Amelia is far right. She's gone far right. Blimey. Well, kids do grow up really fast these days. She's probably older than I remember. It's been a long, long time since Fish Custard. So, yeah, apparently Amelia has gone far right. As a Doctor Who fan, it's funny, isn't it, how when you hear these names, you don't think of the same things that everybody else thinks of, do you? Amelia is a character, of course, from this UK government-funded game. It's meant to be a game, and I think it's the idea is it sort of tutors people, and in their eyes keeps them or gets them on the right track for younger people. This is the latest sort of example of state-funded indoctrination, I suppose you could say. The idea being to instill in the target demographic, which is meant to be, I think, young teens, to make sure that they don't, start taking an interest in things like, national pride, British identity, talking points that could revolve around British culture and the preservation thereof, keeping national borders, sovereignty, dangerous talk like that, and of course, particularly our old friend, free speech. Big believers in free speech here at Type 40, always have been. Free speech, free thinking. This is all backfired, of course, because they tried to make out that Amelia was the villain of this game. But what they didn't reckon on was, yet again, what they won't accept is that Britain is a conservative country, conservative values. And so if you start talking to British people of pretty much any age, including anyone from, say, the age of 10 upwards, about British traditions, British culture, British landmarks, the British identity, they're going to think that's pretty good. So, yes, as Amelia recently said on X, British people will endure absolutely anything except being told they're not allowed to complain about it. You know, we've been complaining about Doctor Who for the best part of 10 years now. It doesn't really got us anywhere, but it has banded us together in the face of adversity. And I think it's the bulldog spirit, isn't it? Another part, a distinctive part of the British identity. So this is all backfired, of course, it has on the mainstream media, the establishment. And I think it's absolutely hilarious. This sort of cute goth girl archetype has been adopted, I suppose, by the independent media and more importantly by the great British public, saying the things and being seen to do the things that I think a lot of us would heartily approve of. Here she is taking down in one punch some desperate, flabby old bureaucrat who's probably been talking bollocks. You know the type. You know the type. Naming no names. I think you probably know the type. So, yeah. Nice one, Amelia. Doctor Who is, of course, a massive part of British popular culture. Cultural identity since the early 60s. You know, one thing I've noticed, not just since doing this as well, since Type 40, is how people overseas too, a lot of the Doctor Who fans that I've met overseas, including Kyle from the podcast, you know, he's not got a massive amount of Doctor Who merchandise, but the Doctor Who fans I know from overseas, Matt Potts the same. There's one item that they've all got. They've all got that Dalek with the Union flag on it. Must have been a huge seller. I think it is one of the biggest selling items of Doctor Who merchandise ever. Doctor Who may well have straddled the globe now, travelled the globe, and was a big hit for a long time, a successful export. But it's still uniquely British, and that's why it's not the reason why people in other countries like it. Maybe you're one of them. That is that AI woman, isn't it? Asks Garbage. Well, they say she is. Brainwashing, basically. Yeah, well, that you said that. It was Funky that said that, not me. Yeah, yes, of course. Well, the idea is it is to propagandize, isn't it? To instill in younger people this idea that having a British identity and all of those things that I mentioned, sovereignty, borders, identity, cultural achievements, touchstones, and even foundations are something to be ashamed of, or they don't exist at all. And they don't exist, and they've never existed. I mean, there was a wild claim, I think it was last week, that William Shakespeare wasn't actually William Shakespeare at all, and it was some black woman. You know, just that's how loopy things are getting. So, yeah, Amelia's going to cut a lot of them down to size. I'm certain of it. At the game, now, obviously, I haven't played the game. The game encourages not to believe what you see and hear. So, of course, you're quite right. I am your servant. American gaming channels have fallen in love with her too, says Funky. See, I didn't know that. I'm not a gamer. Not a gamer. So any Amelia fans there in the chat? That's what we want to know. Have you seen any Doctor Who based Amelia art out there? I'd like to see it. Let's compare and contrast. Yes, let's compare. Yeah, but it's not this Amelia after all. I don't know how she's getting on. Well, I sort of do. We sort of do, don't we? Fancy boxing in glasses, says Garbage. It's a very silly thing to do, isn't it? Yes, so that's Amelia, of course, Amelia Pond. And this is Caitlin Blackwood as she is now. She was young Amelia all the way back then in 2010. So that would have been filmed about 2009, wouldn't it? And she's now in her mid-20s and living a happy life, I hope. Hope she's getting on all right. Yeah, good stuff. Yeah, so who's on Snow Watch? That's what we want to know. Yeah. Teaching tool, public service announcement, says Eastlyn Burkholder. Well, she certainly taught that tool a lesson the hard way. Farsight says, I sympathise with Dan. I can't stand having cold ears. Glad it's not just me. Glad it's not just me. Yeah. So was Isaac Newton. Says Foss. Isaac Newton was what? Far right. Cold watch, more than snow watch. Yeah, so that's our Caitlin Blackwood there. I hope she's doing all right. Her cousin, Karen Gillan, of course. She's been back in the news, back on the tuna this week. What? I know. It seems so long since she was in Doctor Who, doesn't it? I always imagined that she was in it for longer than she was. So it was from 2010 to late 2012, wasn't it? Not that long at all, really. 2.5 years, something like that. But my God, what a star she's gone on to become. Has to be one of the highest grossing sort of actresses of the 21st century, hasn't she? Didn't they recently say that Zoe Saldana, come to think of it, another one of the Guardians of the Galaxy, she is the highest grossing actress of all time, maybe, something like that. Love Zoe Saldana. Watch her in, well, I could watch her in anything. It was 15 years ago, says Garbage Who it was. All that time back. Well, Karen Gillan is not what you'd call a heavy social media user. She's far too sensible for that. And of course, she's a wife and a mother, isn't she? 38 years old now, Karen. But she does use Instagram. She does share things now and again. And I was most excited to see Karen sharing pictures from the shooting here of the new Jumanji movie. It's going on right now. I think it's sort of all over the place, really. At some undisclosed location, and it looks like all the Christmas paraphernalia was up, along with a bit of fake snow there for this new Jumanji film. It seems like a long time since the last one, doesn't it? But I suppose it has been. She's had a baby in the meantime. She's got a figure back. She's got a smile back, but she never lost that, of course. And there's the Ruby Roundhouse trademark shorts and crop top. Bless her. Karen Gillan, I think I've said before, I don't find Karen Gillan attractive at all. I don't think she's sexy or anything like that. But I just think she's incredibly likable. Throws herself into everything that she does. And sharing these pictures from the location filming for the new Jumanji movie, I think this was this is good stuff. This is good stuff. The director Jake Kasdan is returning for this third film, as is Jack Black. Not the biggest fan of Jack Black in the world, and obviously I think that must be Karen's child. There, that she's just put an orange, is that where her baby's face is? I can't say I blame her for that. But yeah, lots of fun out there filming. She's wrapped up. She's put an extra layer on for that one. So filming started on the new Jumanji movie for them back in late 2025, and this is either the fourth one or the third one, isn't it? Depending on whether you count the Robin Williams one from the mid-90s, because these films are sequels to that. That's the general gist of it. But I just love keeping track of our Doctor Who legends when you see them making good stuff. When it's stuff that I like, it's easy to get invested in. Look at that. Oh dear. I don't know who the others are. That must be the makeup woman who's touching up Karen's face and probably her navel area. Yeah, but they have to apply that. It does look like a nasty day, doesn't it? Here I am complaining. At least I'm not in a crop top and shorts. Perish the thought. Dear me. Karen's cute, says Farsight. She is cute. She's lovely. Karen oozes sex appeal, says Garbage Who, but I'm with Dan. She does nothing for me. Jenna Coleman is a different kettle of fish. Jenna Coleman. Now we're talking. Yeah. I like the dark hair, dark eyes. Nice bum. Did I say that out loud? Doesn't look like she did, says Lord Thoth. She did what? Amy was my favourite New Who companion, says Farsight. She's a big favourite for a lot of people. And, of course, your Karen's lining up to be in the new Highlander movie. Now, that's... They must have to time these things sort of with very pinpoint, hadn't they? Because Highlander was meant to still be filming now, but Henry Cavill knackered his leg, didn't he, while they were filming it? Because that was shooting from September last year through to, I think it was meant to finish in February, but they've had to push it along. So heaven knows. I think she's not a major character in that. But no, it's good news. I'm really happy she's going to be in that, because anybody who's been paying attention to me for the last 5 or 6 years, and why would you, to be fair, knows that Highlander's probably my favourite movie. So yeah, having Karen Gillan in that's good news too. Good news. Yeah, so there they are. It's all go. She looks so different too, doesn't she? 38 now, but still looks very youthful and all that. And here she is back in the day. With the Doctor in the TARDIS, I think. Peering back at us. Matt Smith, also a kind of movie star. Done a lot of films, hasn't he? Last Night in Soho. In particular, the Edgar Wright film from a couple of years ago. He's been in a lot of turkeys, Matt Smith, that's, to be fair. That Morbius movie with Jared Leto. But hopefully things will turn around for Matt with Star Wars Starfighter. It's out in 18 months' time, isn't it, for Matt? We all want Matt to continue to do good things, don't we? Done some great TV work. There's not that much difference between TV and film now. So yes, that's Jumanji 4/3, however you want to look at it. There she is with Dwayne Johnson, Kevin Hart, and Jack Black posing. And there must be there's a wintry motif. What happened at the end of the last one? The creatures had sort of invaded our world, hadn't they, from the game? They were running rampant, running wild up and down the streets. That was where we left it, wasn't it? It's been a long time. Long time. At least 5 years. Look, the results are in. From the Canadian jury, Lord Thoth says she's a ginger, so there is that. She's a 7, according to Lord Thoth. Anyone thinking with a slightly different colour scheme? Karen could be Lara Croft. No, it's the same. This is the same problem, mate. Like the girl that they've picked. No, she's just not got the right accessories, shall we say. Can't deny her Scottish accent still does it for me, says Davey96. Definitely a Hollywood star. That's garbage. unlike some of the recent crop. Well, I think that we've got past the age now, haven't we, of the Hollywood star? I think that we've got past the age of Hollywood. Funky says, I think she's playing Heather, the love in 17th century in Ireland. Yeah, because it depends on how closely they're sticking to the original film, isn't it? Whether they're going back to Wyden's original story. So I would imagine a character like Heather will be in it somewhere. But there's 2 or 3 female leads, aren't there? So could be one of any of them, I suppose. Rose says, I think this will be Jumanji 3. This was Jumanji 3. So this will be Jumanji 4. What? Let's clear that up, Rose. Thank you. And Funky says, Matt's part as a punk rocker in Court Stealing is brilliant. I meant to see that. I never got round to it. I've got Starve Acre in my collection. I've got that. And the one where he played the nutcase. He played a serial killer or something. So I've got that as well. Karen Gillan appeared in Call of the Wild with my favourite Hollywood actor, Harrison Ford. Call of the Wild. I must have missed that one. From Harrison Ford to Kevin Hart. Bloody hell. No, I do. I like all of these actors and actresses. I'm down for this. I'm completely down for this. Yeah, let me know what you think. And are you waiting, as I am, to see how Matt Smith makes out in that new Star Wars film next year? May the Force be with you. Dear me. Yeah. Thank you for the comments, all. Lots more Highlander talk. Don't start me off on Highlander. Yeah, so there's a lot to see over on Instagram. It seems to be the safest, doesn't it? The safest of all social media platforms. Well, I say safest. Safe-ish. It is the platform favoured by Russell T Davies, of course. Technically the current showrunner of Doctor Who. Yeah. Here he is updating his status there. Yeah, so there is a new update, a genuinely new update from Russell T Davies out there to check out. And it seems he's been out on the town. For a change, he wasn't at a drag night. At least I don't think he was. He was in the company of these 2 guys. So anything's possible, to be fair. Here's Russell out with Pete McTighe and Phil Collinson. Phil Collinson, of course, long time producer twice over of Doctor Who, executive producer. From right the way back in 2003, 2004, and then again from 2021 onwards. And there's Pete, who was Russell's co-writer on The War Between the Land and the Sea. And yeah, there they are. Looking very pleased with themselves. Where was this and what was going on? So yes, Russell was the first to reveal this picture. And he says, lovely night out with Phil Collinson and Pete McTighe in Soho House, Manchester. So you've just missed them. Who's that in the live chat that was in? It's Stephen. You've just missed them, Stephen. So lovely night out with Phil Collinson and Pete McTighe in Soho House, Manchester. We discussed my knees at great length. Russell Tovey has chipped in there. The star, arguably the star of The War Between the Land and the Sea. The Sea Devils definitely weren't the star. There wasn't enough of them in. Russell Tovey, he was the star of The War Between the Land and the Sea. And he's chipped in with a few heart-faced emojis. What a creep. Bloody hell. Wants another job. But of course, I am intrigued by the notion that they were discussing Russell's knees at length. Is this a dig? Does anybody think this could be a dig of some kind in the direction of you-know-who? Of course, their former lead man who bailed because things didn't line up the way that he needed them to line up. With hindsight, I can't say I blame him, to be fair. Do we think that was a veiled dig at Ncuti Gatwa, who now when he was questioned on his departure, his sudden, wasn't that sudden, but from the outside looking in, his sudden departure on Doctor Who by Laura Kussenberg, he said, oh, he's getting old and his knees were playing up. Do you remember? And then a fortnight later, he was flying through the fucking air in some stage production that he was doing, the Kit Marlowe one. So could it be that that's what Russell was pointing to? Because there was a kind of, as I understand it, things between Russell T Davies and Ncuti Gatwa are okay now, but they weren't for a while. So what do you think? Do you think that somebody's about to spill some tea? Do you think some tea was spilt last night? It sounds like it was. And do you think the target of it could have been Ncuti Gatwa? Gatwa, a.k.a. Dr. Knees, says Stephen C. He's never going to live this down, is he? People will be watching his knees now forever. About as subtle as everything else Russell T Davies has written recently, says Funky. And and I Am Your Servants describes them, the three gentlemen there who are out in Manchester, as the unholy trinity. Dear me. We've got some more good mornings and good afternoons from people across the world, all over the Whoniverse. Welcome to paradise. Dr. Knees is in the house, so it seems. Well, he's in someone's house. Yes, so where were we? Russell Tovey chips in, try and angle for a new... The only person missing from this is Randy Andy, isn't it? The casting director, Andy Pryor. He was the one... No, he's not taking the picture. Pete's clearly taking the picture. You can tell by the way he's sort of awkwardly looking, as if to say, is this going to look okay? And remembering whether he'd taken care of the nasal hair before he'd gone out that night. Yeah. Randy Andy was obviously a no-show. Yeah, so it went on. So it wasn't just Russell that was sharing this on Instagram. Pete McTighe chipped in as well. He said, Manchester, my first home. And what a lovely night, setting the world to rights with Russell T Davies and Phil Collinson. Setting the world to rights. Russell T Davies who still thinks it's 1987. Pete McTighe, who seems to believe that podcasters are the most evil indoctrinators in the world, and we should all listen to oafs like him in the mainstream media. And Phil Collinson. I best keep my mouth shut, hadn't I? Yes, so I don't see that they could have been setting the world to rights somehow. Steph DeWally was quick to answer this one. Bless her. She seems like a nice woman. I like Steph. But obviously, actor needs work. So she dishes out 4 heart-faced emojis there on Instagram. Whereas National Treasure, the Bonnie Langford. I like that. See, what's not to love about Bonnie Langford? She is awesome. The Bonnie Langford with her blue tick mark. You own it, Bonnie. Go on. She says simply the 3 amigos and drops a few kisses and some happy faces and just the one heart, gentlemen. So Bonnie is more sparing with her with her emojis. Yes, so it is a frightening thought, isn't it? I'd like to think somebody could have taped that conversation because I think it'd be a really good laugh. It'd be really funny. What do you think? What do you think? One more show to go, and these guys are out of here, says the Zero Room. Do you think that's what they were thinking in Soho House, Manchester, when these guys rock up? I wonder who reserved the table, under what name. Do you think Russell would have booked it under his own name? Or, him being a writer would have done something creative, like reserved it under the name Ivor Biggin or something like that. I don't know. Betty Swallocks. Billy Sastard. Table for BA. I'd say it's probably something like that. Stephen says, I bet the majority of fans had a knees up when Shooty Gatwell left. I think we're past that phase, aren't we? It was like that when Jodie Whittaker left. I think we're past that point. Funky says, I must talk to my sister. Well, of course you should. She was, well, maybe you might not. I don't know your sister, come to think of it. She might be awful, but I doubt that she is. She's probably just as funky as you are. So yes, talk to your sister. I must talk to my sister. She was at uni with Phil Collinson and may know some gossip about him. Oh, well, there you go. I'd say it's more than likely that she does. Yeah. 3 egos, more like, says Farsight. Bonnie says the 3 amigos. We say the 3 egos. There you go. Get them in while you can. I never liked Bonnie Langford. What? I've never liked Bonnie Langford. Didn't like Mel at all, says the Zero Room. I've got a soft spot for Bonnie Langford. I think she's great. Funky speculates that Russell T Davies actually booking. He probably just walked in and demanded the best table. Do you think that's the kind of stunt that he pulls? I'm Russell T Davies, don't you know? So there they are, yeah, apparently putting the world to rights, or putting Russell's knees to rights, whatever it is. And look, this is clearly, obviously, I hope the gentlemen, I hope they all had a good night. Of course I do. I'm taking the piss. Yes, I am. But you made this public, Russell. You gave me this. But sincerely, I hope they had a good night. My favourite comment, though, wasn't Bonnie's. It certainly wasn't Steph's, and it absolutely wasn't Russell Tovey's. It came from this one over on X. A preference cascade said, wouldn't trust any of them to set the world to rights. Probably start with the mass execution of dissidents. Yeah. So what's going on here, do you think? What's going on here? I think we all know. I think we've got a fair idea what's going on here. We told you about it first here at Type 40. God, when was it? A year ago? Something like that. This is all part of the thing to gently walk us to the place which just accepted that the baton has been passed from Russell T Davies to Pete McTighe, the next showrunner of Doctor Who. Of course, we've been calling that for a long time here at Type 40, and we've just been calling, as always, we just get called liars. We're making it all up. You couldn't possibly have known. No. Cool and Dry says, I don't think these men have any reason to celebrate. If anything, they should be apologizing. Well, they should. Oh, well, I think we'd just like to see them piss off, really. Realistically. Yeah, I'm not going to. There's a further comment down there. I'm not going to put that up. Yeah, so there they are. Out on the town in Manchester. If you spotted these 3 reprobates, if you overheard any examples of these guys putting the world to rights, my God, I think we'd all love to hear that. Please let us know. Let us know. Maybe they were comparing and contrasting. What's the best way to completely bugger up a national institution like Doctor Who? In how many steps? Employ a total tit. to play your lead character. That's a start, isn't it? It's a start. Thank God we've got all this to look back on. That's all I can say. Yeah, let's get back to a happy place. Get back to a happy place. Happy places tend to be in the 70s or the 80s, don't they? 1977, 78 was a particularly good year. It was the year the TARDIS tuner, come to think of it, was originally in the shops. The famous Doctor Who gadget that everybody wanted way back then. I first saw it advertised in the back of magazines and things like that. And now and again, you'd see pictures of kids on the letters page of Doctor Who Weekly who are holding one, that kind of thing. We'd see a competition to win one. And I've still yet to hold one within my hands. I've seen one or two in various states of disrepair. And I mentioned this on an earlier edition of this particular stream, didn't I? If you remember. And I wondered exactly what did the TARDIS tuner do and what did it sound like? Well, thankfully for me and for us, we have been furnished with an answer to this very question. We have, courtesy of Darren Bradley. So he sent in this video. This is great. Check it out. It's the arms of Darren Bradley, I suspect. Family member. Oh. Now, it's not a ceiling bird. Make sure your batteries are in. It's not a ceiling bird. You ever hear one of these going off from above your head? You haven't got to change the batteries in the smoke alarm. It turns out you could have a TARDIS tuner in your loft. Ooh. Oh, he's losing. You've done this a time or two, Darren, I'm thinking. He's moving it around, isn't he, to get the best reception? Who back one? Farting at you, mate. Oh, can't play that. Get a copyright strike. I'll sing over the top of that bit so it doesn't get flagged by YouTube.
And you know, meanwhile, a pro-Brexit rally was held.
I love the graphics and the brushed metal look. Not so keen on the bagpipes. What a racket! Bloody hell.
Ooh, I liked it when the Doctor was Scottish. Time Lord music.
Thank you very much, Darren Bradley, for answering that question. I think that we all had is a close look at the packaging, the gorgeous packaging and the unit itself. And Darren added, like a damn good read in bed, winding down with the chill stream. Yes, we are. As for the TARDIS tuner, a visit up to the loft, the AM switch worked great as a police scanner. And given the current climate of online safety on free speech, it may yet be of some use come any 4 a.m. knock on the door. Yes, I mentioned Amelia. They'll be round. Yes, so yeah, it's could work as some sort of illegal scanner there. So thank you for that. Thank you for that, Darren. Excellent stuff. That is, or that was, the TARDIS tuner in action. Aren't we lucky? I know. Yeah. A TV license detector, question mark, asks, I am your servant. You know what, if they could smuggle one of those into every loft in Britain, then they probably would have done. Farsight has that K9. Yeah, me too. Me too. Ooh, Dan, says Jonathan Cox. Well, Ooh, what were you erring about? I do the ooers. What did I miss? Did I miss a double entendre? That's not like me. So are you impressed? Or did you used to own one of those and it went rogue, or you broke it or something like that, or a family member broke it, and that's the first time you've heard a TARDIS tuner in decades? Davey says, I'm a 90s kid, so I must ask, what the bloody hell is a TARDIS tuner? Well, now you know, Davey, now you know. That was and is a TARDIS tuner. Legendary item of Doctor Who merchandise from 1978 and still in working order in the loft of Darren Bradley. Is it working better than you are, Darren? It did sound really, really good. Thank you again for that, mate. I really appreciate it. I think I coined a new term last night, says the Zero Room very confidently. I told my wife after she moved her books, I could put my Hooray collections back on their shelf. Hooray. Hooray. Bit of a hooray, Henry. I think I've heard hooray before, but you're quite right. We ought to collectively own hooray as a term. I'd be down for that. The jury, obviously the jury's out. Let us know what you think, gents. Is that a respectable enough name, do you think? Let us know. I see Tom Baker has teamed up with John Leeson in Sir Sherlock, the Red Letter Day CD story. So John Leeson's playing Dr. Watson. Yes, I saw that. That's from AUK, isn't it? So yeah, the game is afoot again. He'll have it cracked this time, won't he? You know, Tom is famously embarrassed, isn't he, by his own original turn as Sherlock back in the early 80s. I watched it when I was a child, and I really liked it. I mean, he did play Sherlock Holmes as Tom Baker, but then again, he is Tom Baker. It's probably why they hired him, isn't it? I don't mind that. I don't mind that at all. And as for this new drama, obviously Tom has just had another birthday, 92 now. Happy birthday again, Tom. And it's just great to see him, I suppose, turning up in more projects, isn't it? Unafraid to take things on and to, you know, settle old scores, I suppose, really. Maybe he looks it that way. Don't know. But yes, I'm not sure when that's out. I only saw it announced a couple of days ago. But it does sound good. It sounds like the kind of stuff you'd want to hear Tom Baker doing, doesn't it? What do you think? Maybe. Yeah. I'd like to hear. I'd like that too, Billy. I'd like that too. What else have you heard about? Gary Akers in the live chat. Hi, Gary says, "So hooray is what I'll be shouting when I hear that Russell T Davies is officially gone from the show forever." Forever is a long time. Forever's very finite, isn't it? Yeah. That's amazing, says Cool and Dry. I have only ever seen one in my life at a convention in the 90s. So we're back to the TARDIS tuner there now. Yeah, they would pop up now and again in dealers' rooms and things like that. Sometimes they were boxed, sometimes unboxed, mostly unboxed. A lot of the time they weren't working. All right, Gaza, says Cinescope. It's Luke Walters. We've got lots of Type 40 regulars in the live chat. Good to see you guys. Was that Jamie on the bagpipes on the TARDIS tuner? It may have been. It could have been Karen Gillan playing on a lunch break while she was filming Jumanji, winding down with a bit of piping. You never know. She looks more like a vapor, doesn't she, than a piper? But I know. Oh, this is a piper. Lots of takes on the hooray, it seems, Zero Room. Hooray sounds like a great name for the classic series sets. Yeah. No argument from me. Hooray. Yeah, lots of comments about the hooray. We like. Okay, so where were we and what else? And we've still got people rambling on about Highlander lore. So have we satisfied your curiosity now, Davey? That's what I want to know. Are you suitably educated on the functions of the TARDIS tuner? The function and the form in the nicest possible way. Behave yourself, Adley. Still watching from up there. Still watching, still listening. I know. So what else is here? What else is going on? You tell me, what else have you got going on? People really like that TARDIS tuner. Surprisingly, Tom Baker's BBC version of Hound of the Baskervilles, broadcast in 1982, has never been released on DVD or Blu-ray in the UK, says Stephen O'Neill. No, it hasn't. You can get it on DVD in the States. And there are various sort of bootleg editions sort of flying around, so you can see it. I think it's turned up recently on some cable TV channel or another, Rewind TV or Talking Pictures or That's Great TV. One of those. I know it's been back in circulation recently, but I've never seen a UK DVD release either. I haven't actually seen a single episode of it since it was broadcast. I liked Tom in Sherlock. It's a long, long time ago. 44 years, so my memory of it is a little cloudy. I am now, says Davey. So you're happy with our explanation of the TARDIS tuner? It's more interesting than the merchandise today, he says confidently. Well, yeah, maybe not. Because it takes a lot. It takes a lot to make my radar when it comes to Doctor Who merchandise. A lot of it, I feel like I've seen it all before, but I did see something this week which did get me momentarily excited until I realized who was putting it out, basically. So, I'm a massive 80s fan, 80s kid anyway. I never need an excuse to go back there. I've never really left, to tell you the truth. And season 21 of Doctor Who is probably my favorite season of all of the classic run, maybe of all Doctor Who. It'd certainly be in there, but definitely of classic Doctor Who. I just adore it. And completely, it's totally biased thing. I was just at the right age for it. And each and every story, was either really entertaining or like a gut punch. And the biggest gut punch had to be Resurrection of the Daleks and losing Tegan, who I'd seen this character arrive. She was a major crush, but I really liked the character. I liked how grumpy she was. I blame Janet Fielding and Tegan Jovanka for my lifelong love of dark-haired, dark-eyed girls who are permanently pissed off. Thank you, Janet. Yes, so I was delighted initially to see a brand new piece of Doctor Who merchandise revealed in recent days. Until I saw this, of course, it comes from Character Options. Bloody hell. So the chances of me actually getting one, for one reason or another, are non-existent, really. Character, obviously, at one time, they were the darlings of Doctor Who fandom, weren't they? And they still make quality items. That's unarguable. It's how they get them to the fan base that I feel leaves a lot to be desired. Let's put it that way. You could say they're victims of market forces. So fair enough. All I know is that every time I want some set that they've just announced, it's immediately sold out. So there we are. But this week, Character Options have announced as their first Doctor Who exclusive figure set for 2026. They're putting out the Tegan, Javanka, and Destroyed Dalek twin pack. And here it is, beautifully presented, it says here in the blurb, in an open presentation box with insert. So they've got an insert in the background that makes it look a little bit like it's the spaceship, isn't it? The Dalek ship in that story. So with insert, and it's the perfect piece of memorabilia to add to any Doctor Who collection. Well, it is if you're a fan of the 80s stuff. It definitely is. I think this is terrific. The attention to detail again. This could be timed to kind of lead in to the release of the season 21 Blu-ray box set, couldn't it, in March? It's probably why. I think there's a lot more, and this is something I believe they're doing quite well now between the different licensees that are involved in Doctor Who. I mean, I suppose it's a lot easier to do it now because there's only about 4 of them, not like during the Tennant or Smith era when there was lots of Doctor Who merchandise that sold by the bucket load. It's a lot easier to coordinate when there's only 3 or 4 of them. But the idea that this could tie into the Blu-rays, I think this is good news. I like this. And there she is, heroically, Tegan with her Dalek gun. There, holding that barrel like a pro. Dressed like a pro. Come to think of it, different kind of pro. You can see why she complains about the costumes there, can't you? But yeah, there's these different shots that they've put out as well at character. You get a good look at Tegan herself. That Dalek gun up close. So there's 2 figures and 2 accessories. The Tegan figure they describe as intricate in its stylings. It stands 13.7 centimeters tall, has multiple articulation points consisting of ankles, knees, hips, waist, shoulders, elbow, and neck. So it's full, next to full articulation. I can't think, well, you'd need all that to tell you the truth. But yes, she comes in the outfit as seen in 1984's iconic story, Resurrection of the Daleks. I don't know if it's iconic, but it's certainly eye-catching. You can't mix it up with any other story, can you? She looks like one of the backing dancers on the Kenny Everett show. What they called Hot Gossip. But what I really love is that they've put the Dalek Trooper gun that Lytton's squad used. I love that they've made one of those and popped that in the pack as well. Again, these are they deep dives? I think they probably are. Distinctive deep dives into a story that not that many people talk about. I've always loved it. But for a time, I did feel like I was the only one. And the other accessory is, this is even more so. It's you can see it there towards the top of the pack. That is a canister of the Mavellan virus there that they've got in the warehouse, haven't they? That the army are there sort of safeguarding. There's piles and piles of them. Yeah, so it's goofy. And you think, well, who would want that? Who would buy that? But it's great. Absolutely fantastic. Also included is that destroyed Resurrection of the Dalek style Dalek with, it says here, blasted and scorched casing. A few sort of stains. They've rubbed around it with a fag end or something like that. It says it's also got an internal life support tank splattered with bright green Dalek gloop. That's their word in the press release, is gloop. It's officially the word now for Dalek innards. And showing the mutant Dalek creature within. The character, they launched these Vortex edition figures, didn't they, in 2024? Something like that. And they described them as a series of premium, specifically online exclusive figures in their established traditional 5.5-inch range. So they have got higher specifications, I suppose. I think there's more points of articulation, and the paintwork is that bit more intricate. I think that's how they kind of sell it. I mean, I'll take their word for it. See, I'm impressed by the standard ones. But seeing as I never see any of them in the wild, because none of the shops, none of the B&M bargains anywhere near me ever have the bloody things. It's like trying to find, rocking horse shit. They said that these have got improved sculpts too. And well, I know that they do refine those, don't they? So yeah, I was impressed. I thought this was quite nice. Story that I'm very, very fond of. I was only 7 at the time, says Farsight. Do you mean Sherlock Holmes or for Resurrection of the Daleks? Let me know. But he's not sure what was scarier, Tegan or the Dalek. Good question. Good question. The character options are a bit overpriced these days, but at least it's free postage. Apparently mine arrives tomorrow, says I am your servant. I was shocked when I saw the price on this. £44.99. I don't think it's massively overpriced, but I do think it's overpriced. And I'm your servant says, I think people will more likely use the gun with the fifth Doctor figure. Yeah, because that's the moment I think of. If there's a moment of that story which is iconic, it is where the fifth Doctor, he goes to see Davros, doesn't he? He's going to assassinate him, basically. He makes that decision to take his life. Takes the gun from Rodney Bew's character and goes off to dispatch Davros. Janet and Peter are very entertaining together. Says Cool and Dry. I think they would be good as Victor and Margaret Meldrew from One Foot in the Grave. Maybe they would. Maybe they would. But yeah, people have leapt all over this. I think it's selling really well. Now, I'd heard it had sold out. Apparently it hasn't. You can still get these. And people, in fact, some people have them already, including Dalek, Doctor Who Custom Figure 5.5 on X, because they've posted these very, very creative images already here of both the Tegan figure and the destroyed Dalek and said Gloop. The Mavellan virus canister confused me. I don't remember them being blue. They're a darker blue, aren't they? Maybe it's just the way it looks in that brightly lit pack shot, because the Dalek also looks lighter, and yet here in this picture from 5.5 on X, the Dalek has that kind of darker look, doesn't it? So it could be the light. Expensive, says Lorthoth. I personally still think these are too expensive. I've been looking at the prices of other action figures, and they're not the only ones that are pricing around this mark, but it's still, from the research that I've done into other brands that are similar, it's still about £8 or £9 over what you would expect. And I think that they're getting around that by badging it as a Vortex edition to make it seem like something is kind of more than it actually is. I would love to have one, but it would be $70 in the US. And if you think that the Star Trek figures that Nacelle make, you think that they are $35, and these are twice as much, and you get more accessories with the Trek figures, far more, in fact. The likenesses are so much better. The packaging is far nicer and more environmentally conscious for the people who for that sort of stuff matters. Yeah, overpriced. Very amusing pictures here. Luke says that's standard price now, to be honest, for online exclusives. but it is overpriced. Yeah, it is. It's they are always around this mark, aren't they, for the online exclusives? And it's that word exclusive. It promotes that sense of rarity. Get it now, that kind of thing. At least they have. I've got to applaud character for limiting people to only be able to buy 3 of these, because the range, the entire range, was being besieged, I suppose. And the reason why they would run out of stock so often is because the scalpers would get in and buy 10, 12 of them, put them straight on eBay, leaving punters, fans, genuine collectors who actually want to play with this stuff out of luck, out of pocket, out of the loop, and ultimately disenfranchised. It's the lack of availability of these, and my efforts to secure multiple sets being frustrated by scalpers, which mean that I don't even bother trying to get these anymore. You can see a couple on the shelf behind me, early ones, but every one that they've announced that I really wanted, that I would have, that I would have killed for, no chance of getting them. I do consider this to be a quality line of merchandise, though. I do. Yeah, I Am Your Servant says the Ainley's Master figure sold out very quickly. That sold out before I could even read the blurb. You got the Anthony Ainley Master with his column TARDIS, didn't you? I'd have loved that. Lots of fans of Resurrection of the Daleks in. Of course you are. It's a fantastic story. And Gary says, for that price, they should be including a missing episode. Have they got to be that so expensive because of all the plastic packaging? Says Funky. It is a lot of packaging, isn't it? I mean, here they are, of course, free of all extraneous plastic. But that is quite a big pack. There's a lot in there. There is 2 figures and a couple of accessories, and it's nice that people are going to want to see those. And obviously, a degree of creativity and thought has gone in to that card inset for the people who want to keep them in the boxes. So in some ways, those who put these figures together, these sets together, are damned if they do and damned if they don't. But maybe there could be alternatives, couldn't there, for the people who want to take them out of the boxes and the people that don't. But Doctor Who has become such a niche now, perhaps they can't afford any variation at all. Never mind to the figures, but to the packaging. And yet they could afford to put out a sort of a pink version of Shooty's Sonic, whatever that thing was. I don't know. It's not like I think they're getting it all wrong. I don't, but yeah. Luke says, look how much the Fugitive figure is going for. Nearly 200 quid. Is it really? That's the Joe Martin figure set. She came with the TARDIS, didn't she? The Fugitive Doctor one. Unsurprisingly, I passed on that. But I know that a lot of people wanted it. I think a lot of people want this as well, particularly to go with their season 21 Blu-ray set. The last character options I got was the 11 Doctor set. I think that was only about £50 to £60. God, when was that? I've got that as well. With the double doors. That would have probably been about 2011, 2012, wouldn't it? Long time ago, to be fair, Funky. It was a long time ago. But you're right. It was. I certainly didn't pay more than 50, 55 quid for mine. Apparently, the price reflects new individual design and tooling. Says I'm your servant. Well, they would say that, wouldn't they? I'm sure it does. But again, when I look at other ranges by other people attached to other brands, yeah, that's the Fugitive Doctor thing. He's over on eBay with that pricing, Luke. Interesting. Again, I mean, at least this one kind of looks like Tegan. The Fugitive Doctor didn't look anything like, it didn't look like her, did it? It's really weird. Like, unless I suppose sometimes the final ones look different, don't they? 42 years, nearly 42 years since Resurrection of the Daleks was screened. I remember it so well. 2 45-minute episodes on a Wednesday evening, as I remember, during the Olympic Games. My favourite Dalek story is Destiny of the Daleks, says Stephen. Everybody's got a favourite, haven't they? Not sure what mine is, having said that. I've never really thought about it. And Gary says, the last set I got was the Harry Sullivan Sontaran set a few years ago. That's nice. He was in the duffel coat, wasn't he? Yes, nice one, that. And Funky says, a mate of mine got for my birthday the Jodie Whittaker figure just to see the look of horror on my face. Say no more. I'd have been exactly the same. Oh, perish the thought. Enough to send a shiver up your spine, isn't it? Okay, so this is it. This is Tegan Javanka and Destroyed Dalek from Character Options. It's available now from their website only, £44.99. The link's in the description. This, if it hasn't sold out if it hasn't sold out by now, it will any minute now. So if you do want this, if you can squirrel away some funds, or you have been for a rainy day, my advice would be, begrudgingly, you've probably got to get it right now. Get it while you can, as they say. What do you think, Tom?
Let me just look at it.
Where is it? Which one is it?
The whole thing.
What, all that?
Yeah, but not that bit. You've done that bit already. Just the intro and the outro, okay?
No. Come on. Yeah, all right, yeah. Hello. I'm Tom Baker. Welcome to this special... What do you mean? Which reminds me, have I got time to tell them about the time I was battling Davros on the planet... No. What? What do you mean, no?
Just raise your weight just a little.
What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
Oh, come on, that's how you got the job in the first place.
I must say, he's got a nice light touch. Yeah. Are there going to be many of these?
This is the row of...
When Paul said there are a few
I hope I didn't scare you. Or do you want it more naturalistically? Oh, and what is it now?
The last time that Have I Got News for You was funny. Yeah, when Tom Baker materialised, whenever that was. It's got to be 20 years ago now, isn't it? Yeah, so assuming you're back from the Character Options website, the plucky few who ventured over there to chance your arm, let us know how you got on. What could possibly go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? Right, Tom? Everything can go wrong. This is Doctor Who. Anything and everything can go wrong, can't it? Okay, so how's that gone? Not too bad at all. Not too bad at all. We've shot the breeze, haven't we? Shot the shit, as always. Feeling better already. Got the air around my parts, although I'm glad I am insulated. No long johns, not this time. Although I haven't ruled it out. if the weather forecast does prove to be accurate. Okay. What next? Oh. Absolute warfare out there, of course, in the Doctor Who community, as always, turning on itself because there's not a great deal to talk about. That's going to change pretty soon, I can confidently state. Yeah. We'll get some answers sooner rather than later. And this is the place to be. We covered the war between the land and the sea, of course, in the run up to Christmas. And I enjoyed that. I enjoyed it probably more than the show itself, to tell you the truth. And can't wait to get back to talk about some more. Talk about the next chunk and how we get there. The BBC confirmed, didn't they, all the way back in October now, that Doctor Who did have a future, has a future of sorts, even if at the moment it's still that one special. That's all that's been officially commissioned. Christmas 2026. And it's still just that one graphic that we see everywhere. No stars officially attached. We've got our ears to the ground here at Type 40, and we're willing to spill at the nearest opportunity, whatever they say. Yeah, including you. Yeah, they can't hide forever, can they? They can't hide forever. Okay, so if you want more of all of this, I almost forgot. Get over to the podcatcher of your choice for the latest Type 40 Doctor Who podcasts. So we've got the year off to a flying start, even if I say so myself. Keith Barnfather, he was back with a lovely long-form interview about 40 years of real-time pictures. That was fantastic fun. Keith's a brilliant guest, and he was more generous than ever with his time. Some great anecdotes on that as ever, and some exclusive imagery. We followed that with our review of Closing Time. Yeah, the randomizer works in mysterious ways, doesn't it? It selected the Matt Smith story from 2011 all the way back in, how is that 15 years ago? I still can't quite believe it. So that popped out of the randomizer. We leapt on it and tore it apart, basically, for about an hour and a half. That's up there on the feeds too, and about to be joined by the latest edition. That's McGannuary, the two births of the Eighth Doctor. So we got together to celebrate 30 years of Paul McGann with Doctor Who, as it was, of course, that January in 1996, where he was unveiled to the press and the public as the next official Doctor Who. So we talk about that. We talk a little bit about the TV movie, about his other appearances on screen, and various other things sort of as and when they pop up, before topping things off with a review of that first full-cast audio drama, Storm Warning, from Big Finish, which just celebrated its own 25th anniversary. So get on all of that. Lots of good stuff for your ears, and enhanced versions of that here on the channel too, of all of that. And that should, definitely keep you topped up until we bring back Type 40 Live next week. 10th season of our live stream Doctor Who magazine show. I can't wait to get started. We've got a list of things dotted throughout the year, as always. But we're ready, willing, and able for pretty much anything that's going to sort of rise up out of the time vortex. We've got a lean crew of pundits ready to get involved, to come back, and some excitable guests all lined up too for the next run of Type 40 Live. So make sure you don't miss that. Also, I want to say thank you to all the Doctor Who trekkers out there who have supported Warp Drive, the comeback of Warp Drive, after a couple of years. So we've relaunched our Doctor Who podcast here on YouTube with a panel of guests, I suppose, and friends from across content creation. So we've done 2 or 3 of those so far in this run. We're there covering the rest of Starfleet Academy. I know. So take pity on us. We're doing that between now and mid-March. Okay, it's gone south pretty quickly, but hang on in there. Hang on in there with us. Now, it could rally. there's another 7 episodes, something like that. So one of them might be all right. We'll find out together, won't we? There in the Alpha Quadrant for Warp Drive, a Star Trek podcast. It's got its own YouTube channel now as well, with all the old editions from our previous runs of Warp Drive all being reposted there. So you get to see younger versions of us talking mostly about the same stuff, about how pissed off we were then, just as we are now. So go and check out Warp Drive. You know where to find it. Type Warp Drive into the search field, and yeah, you should be able to see it amongst all of that. Engage, says Lord Thoth. I couldn't agree more. The Zero Room says, I have a working print of the TV movie. Really interesting. There are several of those in circulation, aren't there? I've never seen one myself. Oh yeah, the poster. Talking about the poster, Lee Sullivan's fabulous poster there. Funky says, I remember that it was split across 2 Lee Sullivan Doctor Who magazine covers, wasn't it? I'd say that was 1992, maybe. They were certainly using the diamond logo at the time. Fabulous. The Figure Collector has joined us on YouTube. Is there any news, struck rumours on Doctor Who that Type 40 can spill on a glorious live stream in the near future? There is indeed. Can't say any more for now. You're not going to want to miss it, though. Type 40 Live back next week. Thank you, Figure Collector. What else? Ooh, says Luke. I know. Is it lunchtime yet? That's the most important question. Is it? It's past lunchtime. It'll be time for the evening meal soon. Yeah. That means that if you head over to your local Tesco Express, of course, other small supermarket outlets are available. This isn't sponsored by them. You may get lucky and find they've knocked down the sandwiches that you like. They've put one of those yellow stickers on with the oops. So you might get lucky if you head over to your Tesco Express now for the meal deal. You get a deal and a half. It's tea time. It is tea time, near enough. The figure collector breaks it to me gently. I have no interest in the Star Trek podcasts. Well, I hope you're having fun with them so far. We have fun doing the podcasts. It's a pity that Star Trek itself is a bit shit. This season of Star Trek isn't. Yeah, there's 1 decent episode out of 3. Well, half decent episode out of 3 that some of us sort of liked. It's not very impressive so far, but who knows? Who knows? I remember the first Doctor asking the 7th if it was necessary to use the Hand of Omega, says Farsight. You're talking about that short story in Doctor Who magazine, aren't you? I'll let you have that conversation between. Yes, so it is nearly time for your evening meal. Hope you've made it home in one piece if you've been listening to this nonsense on the school run. Drive time, whatever you want to call it. I've jogged some memories. Stirred some bowels. Oh, Luke says he's on his way. He's going to the States in June. Wow. He's been in a few states in his time. Yes, good. Okay, so get your gams around something nice. It's nearly tea time, everyone. Get on that Tegan box set if you want it. You best try and get it now because the window is about to close, I would imagine. Just like that one. The window is definitely going to close on that soon. Sincerely, they sell out pretty quickly. Thanks for joining in this time, everybody. Do love a chill. Some streams are more chilled than others, aren't But we're busy putting together the next Type 40 Live back next week with a special show. And then we're taking you right the way through with a clean run. Well, clean? Are we ever that clean? You know what I mean. with a nice, long, satisfying run of our popular live stream Doctor Who magazine show. So make sure you're here for that. Yeah, that's people talking about power cuts now. My God, I've thought about the power cuts in years. Cheers. Yeah, I want to say thank you to Lord Thoth, to Darren, to Garbage and Vanessa and everybody who mods on the channel for us. Thank you so much, guys. Really is appreciated. And yeah, that's about it for this time. So remember, Amelia's not far right. It's just right. Remember, Tegan and the Destroyed Dalek, it's going to sell out pretty soon. So if you do want that, if you can drop the $44.99, was it $44.99 on that, then I would get it sooner rather than later. What else did we talk about? Karen Gillan. Yes, Jumanji 3/4. Not sure when that's out. I think it's sort of listed for December this year. So they need to get the skates on. I thought that would spend longer in post-production than that. But apparently, yeah, it is going to be out in time for Christmas. So if you're as excited as I am about that, I'm going to rewatch the other two. In fact, I may rewatch the Robin Williams one as well, because I do love that movie. And then join the countdown for the next Jumanji film. Why not? Deep Thought 42 says, Dan, could you do more clip videos from live streams of new Doctor Who news? I'm way behind due to illness. I'm sorry to hear that, Deep Thought. I fear I won't catch up. Well, I think most of it is already clipped. So I don't clip everything for one reason or another, but most of it is digestible elsewhere as well. There will be stuff you'll have missed, because obviously if I don't keep some things within the body of the live stream, there's no reason for people to go back to them, is there? So yeah, I clip what I can. But there's lots more podcasts on the way, and more chill streams like this as well, and with other people involved too. So we'll talk some more about that in a couple of days' time. But thank you. I hope you're feeling better, Deep Thought. I've heard the same song, Dan. Which song's that? Which song was that? I don't know. Okay, I think that's it for this time. Let's close it out just like they do. Enjoy the rest of your days. I think some of you have got more of them left than others, haven't you? Depending on where you are in the world. But thank you for joining me this time, everybody. It's been a blast. Get on all of that. We'll see you in a couple of days' time. Keep watching the channel. Make sure you're subscribed and all that. See you later.